Please support veteran-owned, service-disabled small business, Sons of Liberty, CBD.com.
Good morning, everybody.
To get 25% off.
The Department of Justice's order on Friday to release former President Donald Trump's tax returns appears to be purely political, Senator Chuck Grassley, Republican of Iowa, said. In 2019, the department said the returns did not have to be given to Representative Richard Neal, Democrat of Massachusetts, chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, because Neal was disingenuous about the true purpose of seeking the returns. Following the most widespread protests since Fidel Castro's 1959 revolution, Cubans are now bracing themselves for a new aftershock, mass trials of those who dared to take to the streets calling for change.
Many of the relatives of the people who were arrested would not talk to us on camera. They were too afraid. But some did tell us that their loved ones had done nothing other than peacefully demonstrate or simply record and upload videos.
Good morning, Paul.
Protests as they took place.
Good morning, Scott.
National correspondent Patrick.
How is everyone this morning?
This is USA Radio News.
Lights out. Everybody.
Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet.
Pleasant dreams.
The greatest radio shows of all time, USA Classic Radio Theater, on these radio stations or on demand by searching USA Classic Radio Theater. USA Classic Radio Theater.
Team USA gathers medals. Caleb Dressel sets records on the final day of Olympic swimming. More from Dan Naraki.
The United States continued to collect medals on the final day of the Olympic swim meet. Caleb Dressel earned his fourth gold medal of the Games when he won the 50-meter freestyle, setting a new Olympic record in the process. Bobby Fink surged on the final lap with a 1,500-meter freestyle to grab another gold, the first for the U.S. in that event since 1984. The women's 4x100-meter medley relay.
I am doing good this morning, Scott.
0.13 of a second behind Australia.
Dawn is... No, not so much. Right, Dawn? You said you were not feeling it this morning.
A little pumped
On their way to another gold. Caleb Dressel swam the butterfly in that event, claiming his fifth gold medal of the Games and becoming just the fifth swimmer to win 5 golds in a single Olympics, joining Michael Phelps.
A little tired this morning.
And East Germany's Kristen Otto. From the USA Radio News Ohio Bureau, I'm Dan Naraki.
A surging number of immigrant families crossing the border in recent weeks has led to overcrowding in Border Patrol stations, and many of those families will now be transferred to Immigration and Customs Enforcement custody, according to senior Department of Homeland Security officials. From there, the families will either be released with ankle monitors, or make their case asylum, or put on a flight.
So funny.
Officials said. As of Saturday, Border Patrol processing facilities were holding migrants 585% above capacity. For USA Radio News, I'm Brad Bernards.
All right.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host.
I want to talk about polls sooner than later.
Yeah, absolutely. Second segment. I'm just going to do this segment. I'm going to do weather. And then talk about Dusty Hill during this first segment. And then
Information on the band?
I do. I looked it up.
I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding
Talk a little bit about the discography, some of their hits, stuff like that.
Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WBBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
You are Red Mike. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Middleboro in Review. Today is August 1st, 2021. Start of a new month here. And it's a nice day to start off the month. Now let's check the weather real quick. Taunton, 53 degrees currently, 79 for the high today. So a nice day, nice warm day today. And so it's going to be really nice over the next couple of days. Monday, 82, and Tuesday, 81 in Taunton. In Middleboro, 79 today for the high, 53 currently, 82 for the high tomorrow, and 81 for the high on Tuesday. Driscoll, Texas, 76 for the high currently, and fog in the forecast right now. 99 for the high today. 99. And then tomorrow, 98. So some hot days coming up in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, 54 degrees currently. 84 for the high today. And then 89 tomorrow for the high. That is in Driscoll, North Dakota. Some nice weather down there.
Up there.
Down here somewhere in the middle.
North Dakota's up. Well,
this way, and
it's not down any.
It's this way, and
but it's not down any stretch of the imagination. If you want to go, unless you want to go south through south.
Just go straight. Just go straight.
Yeah, you go down the South Pole and go up around the other side. Sure, but that's not really the best way to go to North Dakota.
Just go in a straight line.
Okay.
Just go in a straight line, and you'll run into North Dakota.
Yeah, Mickey picked up that when you were talking about Florida, and you said up or down or whatever, and you picked that up.
Okay, sorry. Go in a straight line. That's what it is.
Yeah, no editor, right?
Yes, going in a straight line, and you will run into North Dakota.
Well,
all right.
No.
Well, kind of. Well,
no.
You kind of have to go in a straight line and then go up.
Well, actually, Maine is north of like that line that runs across the whole United States. Maine goes up more north. So if you're standing up at Fort Kent, Maine, that's continental. That's the
United States has
highest point continental. Not
the United States has really interesting borders and everything else.
We could do a whole show on the crazy borders they have.
Texarkana is one of them.
Yeah.
Where three states meet. That little
and then
area.
In Texarkana, the city itself is between Texas and what's the other state? Texas and Alabama.
Yeah.
Texarkana, I guess that's the whole idea of the name.
Yeah. A lot of interesting things and borders to talk about. We were talking about the Southwood Jog a month or two ago. And that was another one.
Yeah, we had Lester Smith on. He was the curator of the King Museum in Suffield, Connecticut, and he knew a lot about that. And you just read up on that, and it's all the treaties that were, and a lot of these treaties were before this country was even a country. All these, they were back to when England owned, the area. So
Niagara Falls is in two countries. Niagara Falls.
Yeah, and then you got the Northwest Angle in Minnesota, where you have to drive through Canada to get to.
Yeah.
And Roberts Point in Washington, another spot.
Yeah.
And then Hancock, Maryland. You know where that is?
I don't know where that is.
Hancock, Maryland is like the thinnest part of Maryland, okay? From Pennsylvania down to West Virginia, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's Potomac on one side. I think the Potomac is West Virginia and Maryland. I think that's the border there. And then Pennsylvania and Maryland part. But it's 1 mile wide. And they just put the interstate inside that 1 mile radius. It's crazy. It comes down to a mile. Anyone knows the map of Maryland knows it's almost set up like Massachusetts, but no, because it cuts down to Chesapeake Bay, and then it just gets really thin, and then it goes by Hancock, Maryland, and then it opens up again, and it's like a panhandle almost.
And even down here, there is some interesting little areas you go through. On highways, heading from Wareham to Middleboro, there is a little tiny sliver of Rochester you go to.
Oh yeah.
So
between Middleboro and Wareham, yeah.
That's another one too.
Yeah, it's a small,
interesting thing.
495 just makes it interesting. These little quacks of. It's just really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you could read up on all that, and there's books and stuff on YouTube all about it. It's fascinating. There's a guy called Geography King on YouTube. His name's Kyle, and he has all this things about these crazy geography oddities that are all around the United States. He does worldwide, but he does the United States, and it's really interesting. I watch a lot of that, and anything to do with strange borders, even worldwide, like enclaves and stuff like that. I love it. It's just interesting because you wonder, what's the rhyme and reason for that? And there's treaties. They go back to 15, 16, 1700s.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's nothing new.
So we have a great show planned today. We have to talk about the 4-H fair. It will be happening this year. It's going to be happening Labor Day weekend, as always. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have other events going on as well. This upcoming week, there will be the ghost tours in Oliver House. We're going to talk about that too. We have a bunch of different events happening with bands and stuff coming. Summer concert series continues for the town hall and also for Seoul Homestead. Talk about a couple of American, The Voice, former contestants who are coming to middleboro to do performances. We'll talk a little bit about that too. I want to start off, however, with talking about Dusty Hill, who we lost this week. Part of the legendary band ZZ Top, the band from Houston, Texas. And we lost Dusty Hill this week on the 27th or 28th of July. He was 72 years old. He was in ZZ Top for over 50 years. Not a whole lot of band changes for ZZ Top. ZZ Top is one of those bands that really never had any kind of lineup change. They had people come in, like guest musicians and things like that, but the three main guys, those were the three main guys up from, when they started in the early 70s to now.
No breakups, nothing.
No breakups, no nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, their music is rooted in blues. ZZ Top has developed a signature sound, which is based on Gibbons' blues guitar style, and what a guitar style it is. And Hills and Beard's rhythm section. Frank Beard, the drummer. They are popular for their live performances. So they did a massive world tour called the Worldwide Texas Tour from 76 to 77, which gathered a lot of acclaim and success. They have some really good hits. LaGrange, I could go on. There's so many good hits. Give Me All Your Lovin', Sharp Dressed Man.
That was the Eliminator album that came out. When did that come out? In like 84, 85, 86?
Yeah, so...
That went crazy because of MTV, because of the videos.
Yeah.
And it was a good album, too. I mean, a lot of people who may put that, not too high on their list, probably, what was the album that you said was like one of the best?
Eliminator Eliminator is definitely one album that a lot of people say
we were
that
talking
is
about an
their
album
favorite.
this morning that meant Three Men. What was that?
Three Men is Tres Hombres.
Okay.
Tres Hombres is their third studio album. A lot of people also call this one of their favorites as well. It has LaGrange on it, which is amazing. LaGrange is a perfect song. It really is.
Yep.
There's some other great songs on there. Waiting for the Bus, Master of Sparks. There's a lot of great songs on that third album.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was watching an old Dick Cavett show from, I believe it was 1970 or 69, I think it was 70, and he had Jimi Hendrix on. And he asked Jimi Hendrix, who's one of your favorite performers out there, your favorite band? And he says, it's a ZZ Top man, by far. You know what I mean? It's just, he was no doubt about it, he said. Hands down, he said he thought Billy Gibbons was one of the best guitarists he ever heard. That's come from Jimi Hendrix. Okay, so Jimi Hendrix was a humble guy. and most good musicians were. A lot of them back then, they weren't all about themselves. They because they played with so many other people. They had a lot of respect for a lot of other bands too, because it's probably what Jimmy would maybe was listening to. And I think ZZ Top's, when they started in 1968, 1967.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah, the early band. Early
Their first album came out in 71.
Earlier than Rush, earlier than Black Sabbath, Zeppelin, maybe about the same. Their first album came out in 71?
Their first album came out in 71. ZZ Top's first album has some great songs on there.
Maybe it was 71. Maybe it was 71 that that interview was done. But maybe, I don't know. He said the ZZ Top band, so, I mean, Jimi Hendrix died in 1971, so he died, I think, later, later on in September or whatever. I'm not sure the exact date. But maybe he heard that first album and he was blown away. Yeah,
so with the Eliminator album,
that was 19.
A lot of people.
What year was that?
That was 83. A lot of people say that is one of their best album.
Most popular album.
Give Me All Your Lovin' is on that album, which is a fantastic song.
The videos, the MTV videos sold those albums. I mean, those songs, and I think they made all their money. Most of them, that was like a big money maker for ZZ Top, was that particular album. Because of the videos, the cool car, the girls, everything that went with that video. And, MTV really made people a lot of money with the videos. I mean, for the first, 5, 6, 7 years when I think MTV started, I'm not sure exactly when they started, but I remember I didn't get cable until 1982. That's when they wired it up in Quincy when I was young. So, I mean, some people got it earlier, but they were wiring it all up and getting it up ready. But that album they made a lot of money off that album. It was a really successful album. Some would say that isn't their best album, but I know a few songs. I know the songs. I'm not really know every song, but there's people who do. There's other bands I know every song in the catalog. But I don't know. It's just you keep looking at songs, and you keep dissecting them, and find something that's really good, right? They
were making a lot of waves up until the 90s. Recycler, which came out in 1990. Mm-hmm. The song Double Back was in Back to the Future 3, Part 3.
Okay, yeah, I remember they were in the movie. Yeah. They were in the movie. They really were. They were in the movie. They were the band in the movie in the West scene and the 1870s, 1880s era. I remember them being in the movie. That's funny. And they're on tour. They're still on tour today.
Yeah, they're still touring. Yeah, they're still touring.
They got a bass player.
Dusty Hill was still touring with them up until last week, and then he
last week
he left.
Before?
I think it was the 19th that he was one of his last tour dates. There's a video circulating online of him on stage with them on the 19th of July, right. I think.
And I think the bass player they have playing now was picked by Dusty Hill.
Yes.
So I'm not sure if he knew something was happening, he was sick, who knows. But they just said natural causes, which is fine because that's his privacy. And if he wants to say that he went that way, that's fine. But he had a hip problem, right? That took him out of the tour, right?
Yes.
Okay, right.
He
passed away.
And in the 90s, they put out albums like Antenna, Triple X, which is their 13th album, which pretty much commemorates their 30th anniversary as well. They have, in the recent years, they hadn't put out many albums. La Futura is their 15th and most recent. I had seen that they were working on something new. So maybe that still comes out.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I'm sure they got the tracks, those studio tracks. They're probably up to recently too, maybe. But like I said, longevity band.
51 years with no lineup changes. Just some guest people coming in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The same lineup, same
What was
three
the year
guys.
they started? I thought they started like in '67.
They started. I think they formed in like '68.
Okay.
Their first album was '71.
50?
51 years. 51 years where they had no lineup changes at all.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
That's a resume, right?
It is. It is an absolute. It's absolutely amazing what they were able to do during their career, and will still continue to do actually with their new bassist.
They're still touring.
Yep, and
Yeah.
hopefully there's a new album out. It'll be dedicated to Dusty,
And Dusty will probably be on it.
and Dusty will be on it. Yeah, because they recorded some things
Right.
when Dusty was still around.
Right.
So they will have some Dusty Hill material. So his bass work will still be on that album. So will the new bassist. I'm sure that they'll record some songs with the new bassist too for the new album.
And I'm sure they'll probably do a dedicate. I mean, I'm sure
The album will probably be will definitely be
they'll
dedicated to
probably
Dusty.
do a dedication. You know, they'll probably have some new tracks on there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, 7:25. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we are gonna talk about the 4-H fair. So stick around. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. 3, 2, and 0. Come on, here we go. Just a second. Grab my sheet of stuff here so that I don't forget anything. Alright, so 1, 5, 2, enter.
Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces
6,
who ride
7,
motorcycles
enter.
as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and
So
welcome.
I've decided going forward, I'm gonna do my spiel about the ways you can listen to our show after the first commercial break. Going forward.
We sponsor and or
Yeah.
participate.
Yeah, it's better to do it that way.
Related charity events each year. And as a nonprofit organization,
So we're gonna talk about
veteran care facilities
the toll thing, and then
to learn more about the combat
talk about
veteran motorcycle
4-H
association
fair
and how
at some
you
point.
can join
I thought you were gonna say you just told people that you're doing 4-H fair as soon as you get back.
Yes, we're gonna do that during the segment too. But we want to do. You want to do that as well? It's not gonna take me long to do 4-H fair talk. I'm just gonna mention the dates. Let's see here. Talk a little bit about what you can do at the 4-H fair. So let's get that up there. Fair is back. Labor Day weekend, 2021. All right.
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508-583-1495.
Hi, this is
Did I do Talking Birds?
Hope you can join me every
No,
Sunday
think
from
so.
noon to
Okay.
4 o'clock here at
Who's next time,
The
though?
sounds of the
I'm gonna do it.
association.
I'm gonna do it now.
Great Irish music.
I don't know if I did.
No, I don't think you did. You did. This is the fourth commercial, the third one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
And to make
Do it
you
right
love
now.
some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WVBF 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray.
Yeah, I didn't do this one.
Inviting you to tune in to Talking
All right.
Birds, a show about wild
That
birds, birding,
back
and
up there.
conservation, right here on WVBF, broadcasting from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green. Join us for informative interviews and fun
0.
information about birds and birding. It's Talking Birds, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sunday mornings at 9, here on WVBF, AM 1530 and 99.7 FM.
All right, 7:28. All right, and we are back here as I turn down the music here, and we are starting our second segment of the show today. It is 7:28 a.m. Here. It's August the 1st, 2021, the start of a new month. Start of the final full month of summer. But let's not get too hung up on that. Still plenty of summer left, folks. All right, let's talk about the 4-H fair real quick. So the 4-H fair will be back this year. And it will be Saturday and Sunday. That is Labor Day weekend of September 4th and September 5th. So Labor Day is the 4th and 5th. The Labor Day weekend is. Labor Day will be the 6th this year. Labor Day is on a Monday, usually. So Labor Day weekend is the 4th and 5th. 8 a.m. to dusk, both days. It used to be 3 days, but due to a number of factors, mosquitoes being the biggest one, they decided to cut it down to 2 days. But it's still 2 great days of many, many things you can do at the 4-H fair. There's an auction every year. There is everything. There's a lot of things that you can do. There's food. Some very, very good food.
Chachi is
fried dough.
There, right? Chachi's usually
Chachi is usually there. Chachi Labret
from
Breakfast with the Beatles is usually there. Again, good food. Fried dough. The cheeseburgers are really good. The fries are pretty good too. There's a lot of good food there. A lot of great things to look at and buy. Because they have tents where you can buy things as well. So yeah, it's a really good event to go out to. I do it every year. All I have to do is walk out my back door and I'm there pretty much. So I live right next to it. So it's a great thing. I walk over there every year, and it's a fun event. I definitely recommend anyone who is interested in going to go. The Middleboro 4-H Fair, September 4th, Saturday, and September 5th, Sunday, 8 a.m. to dusk. All right, real quick before we move on to our next thing that we'll talk about, ways to listen to this show. There are many. So, first and most important, the first 2 things and most important things are on the radio, FM and AM, 1530 AM and 99.7 FM WVBF are the 2 most important ways to listen to us if you want to catch the show and many other shows on the station. Also, we have an Audio Now number, 605-562-7958. That's another good way to listen to us. Another good way is tune in as well, and that is WVBF 1530 AM to listen to us as well. And to listen to this show in particular, YouTube is a good way to do it. Middleboro in Review. It's all lowercase. We have a lot of shows on there. We don't have every single show on there, but I am working on it. That will be on there. I'll try to update that as much as possible. Some weeks I don't get to update it, but it will be updated as much as humanly possible. And also we have an email, middleboroinreview@gmail.com. You can email us any of your questions or any topics you want us to talk about, and we will talk about them on the show. And I think that covers all the bases. I think it does. All right.
Gotta get your housekeeping done, right?
Gotta get that done.
Get the housekeeping.
Gotta make
done.
sure I mention the email because we do have an email.
Yeah.
We do have an email. I want to make sure I mention that because that's an important way to get in touch with us as well.
And all week long.
Yeah, all week long.
The shows are great.
Yes, all week long the shows are great.
Yeah. Tony Lopes is pretty much here almost all day on Tuesday.
Real quick, we have little programming note here. So after our show, we will have Bread of Life, and today's program is called Submission Unto God. So that is today's program. At 8:30, and that's with Pastor Bancross at 8:05 or so. Bread of Life. 8:30, we have the Rosary. 9 o'clock is Talking Birds, a great program about everything bird-related. They have great segments, great guests that come on to the show. They have a great all-around great show. Ray Brown. At 9:30, Keys to the Kingdom. At 10 o'clock, All on God with Edna Isaac. One of our newer shows. She's been around on the station since December, I believe. And a great show. A really great show. And after that, we have Musical Odyssey. And today's program is all about Thomas Beecham, music's self-taught conductor. So a great program there. At 12, we have Sounds of the Emerald Isle. And at 2 o'clock, Stand Up Strong finishes off the August 1st Sunday programming schedule for us here at WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. And during the week, we got a lot of great programming. Monday through Friday with the Morning Wake Up News with Tony, Chris, and Jim. They'll be on this week. So a lot of great programming as well. On Wednesdays, you have Bob Folsick with his show. That's 9 to 11 on Wednesdays. Like I said, a lot of great programming. Jim Dupont has a show a couple days a week as well. So a lot of great programming here on WVBF.
A lot of different points of view.
Absolutely.
I mean, talk about the amount of people who are still working here, as far as Tony and Bob and Chris and Jim. They've been with the station for a long time now, and it's just a perfect blend, I think, as far as what you want to hear. And you get Coffee with Tony on Tuesday, and it was funny because Tony does 3 hours on Tuesday. I seen him last week, so he said he can get a lot of guests. He knows a lot of people. So doesn't Jim. So doesn't Bob. How long they've been in this community? You know, we're new around here. If you think about it, we're little infants as far as the broadcasting genre, but we're trying, right, Joey?
Yes. All right, Dawn. So there is some important things you want to talk about in Rhode Island.
I hope I don't turn this into a train wreck, but here we go. Driving through Rhode Island a lot. My friend lives in Northbridge. I think we took a ride out to check the Blackstone Valley corridor. Remember we took that ride, Joey?
Yes.
And then, going back and forth. And since 2018, they've been erecting the toll plazas. Not even plazas. They're the electronic toll booths. You go underneath the sign and they take a picture and whatnot. But in Rhode Island, they have a tractor-trailer tolling system. It's called Roadworks. It was introduced in legislation in 2016 by then Governor Gina Romano. And what they want to do is there's 13 spots in the state where the electronic tolling is, and it's for tractor-trailers. And some places are pricier than others. What their proposal is, the areas where the tolls are, they're going to focus on that infrastructure around, like bridges. Like if you go down 295, I think you go under those tolls maybe 3 times, but it's concentrated on that area. So it's tractor trailers only, and a lot of trucking industry leaders think it's extortion, whatever, because they just focus on the tractor trailers. And I'm seeing $6.75. I'm seeing like $4.75, $5, whatever. They have all these different prices. So if you go through toll booth, it's probably going to cost a tractor trailer about $20 or maybe $25. Depends on which way to go through Rhode Island. Okay, 30. But, and a lot of people think that's not fair to pick on the tractor trailers. They should light them up for everybody. And I don't know how I feel about that, because I drive down the 295. They're really moving these new bridges. They're working on them. They're putting them up pretty fast, and it's new. And some would say that the tractor trailers are the ones that damage the bridges to begin with. Okay, not mostly like over the road tractor trailers, because they're pretty well regulated, 80,000 pounds, and a lot of the interstates are pretty much, interstates is federally funded too. They have a lot of control, and this is just going to be 10% of the revenue, and they get monies elsewhere. But routes like 146, which is a state route in Rhode Island, and other routes, I think they have maybe one or two, maybe four too. Route 4 going down towards Westerly, down that Narragansett way. But my attitude is, remember I was talking to Marky just yesterday about it. I wouldn't mind tolls. I wouldn't mind beefy tolls if, when it was paid off, they took them down. But then you got the whole thing of keeping up the maintenance. But isn't that what our taxes go for?
So tolls, like you said, there is a lot of.
You think that's fair to the tractor? Should they light them up for everybody?
I don't know how to feel about
everything
it.
paid off.
I don't know how to feel about it either. I know tolls are becoming a wide thing, really everywhere. So
right,
I don't know how to feel about it.
But the whole idea of putting a toll in temporarily to get some infrastructure fixed is fine in my eyes, but they never take it down. They never took down. They were supposed to take the tolls down in the Mass Pike years ago when they put that up in 1956, 57 when they opened it. With that 2021, and they're still up and running. I heard there was a point where they were, now everything's electronic now, so they pretty much got rid of all the toll takers now. But they still got maintenance, they got everything else. But if it's a interstate, the federal government gives you money. It's not like it's like in Florida, they have like private roads, like the Beeline Expressway, the Florida Turnpike. It's not an interstate, it's just the Florida Turnpike. It's not a designated, I think they give it a state route, but it's not a federal Florida, federal interstate highway, so where's the fairness in that? I mean, everyone's paying federal, like if you lived in Tennessee and you're paying federal income tax, all that money's supposed to be a network of interstate highways throughout the country. So technically, you go to Rhode Island and plus you're paying in the tractor trailer, you're paying way much more registration, and all these other fees so do you think they should light everyone up?
It really depends on what they think, the states, what they think is good. Really, the tolls, they're changing. Like you said, a lot of these tolls are no longer, manned by anybody.
No, they're not.
They're not manned by anybody. They're just, you drive by them and it takes a picture of your license plate.
But I mean, some people might pay. I'm not saying in the Rhode Island case, but I mean, I was just researching North Texas for some reason because it popped up on the research, and they were interviewing some woman. She said she pays $40 a week, for toll.
Yeah, tolls are a big thing, and it's going to be happening everywhere.
So, I mean, plus you pay your tax and everything else. So, I know they got to build the roads, but what happened to the tax revenue? You don't have it anymore?
I don't know.
Where's the money?
I'm not sure.
Well, because they, sometimes a lot of states take money from the roads and they put it somewhere else. But I feel I think most people would be on board for paying tolls if they knew that those monies were just going to the roads.
Yeah.
Nothing else. They got to write it in the legislation saying the money's not going anywhere else into infrastructure. We build these bridges, and we gotta fix the roads. We gotta pave the roads, and that's it. And I think more people would be on board because the roads would be perfect.
Because infrastructure does need a lot of work.
I've never mind driving the Massachusetts Turnpike and paying the $5 because that road is perfect. It always has been all my life. As long as I've been driving since 1983, and I've been out there. I've been on the Turnpike a million times driving, commercially and privately, and I never really had a problem with the Mass Pike. But as soon as you get off of 128, it's pothole city. I mean, it's getting better. They're doing a lot of pavement and stuff. But if they just put the money in the roads and the roads were meant, because another factor too is, okay, say you spend $200 a year on tolls, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just example. And the roads are meant. The roads are perfect. Perfect. You probably saved yourself another $600 in suspension and tire blowouts and every other thing that goes with me. My nephew Jay, he blew his tire out on his car right on Route 6 coming out of Depot Street in Wareham because he hit a bump. The roads are terrible. It cost him he blew out the tire, destroyed the rim. It was $600. $600. He didn't even make it around he didn't make a quarter mile. So, is that the trade-off? If the roads are perfect and meant, and because people go in and they got to work on their cars, now the front end's messed up because the potholes, the tire problems, and it's a safety issue too. Because you know how bad the roads can get, right?
Bad roads can get really, really bad. And I know.
And you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars in repairs. And you know what's funny too? It's this former governor. Deval Patrick mentioned that.
Yep.
He's like, okay, well, you don't want the tolls, but how much are you spending on repairs on your car because the roads are terrible?
Yeah.
Think about the math. I mean, you're thinking about your suspension, and then you need a whole new suspension after 5 years because it's a pothole city on the streets, and now you're probably dropping 2,025. Who knows what you're dropping in to fix it, and then tires and everything else that goes with crappy roads.
Yeah.
So it's mathematically, but I think a lot of people would be on board if that money was just going into the roads, nothing else. You can't funnel off it. You can't take it for another reason, another program. As much as people, the legislatures would want it because it's all a good causes. People need the money, but can't get it from there.
This is gonna be a major topic, really in the future, with roads and tolling. As tolling becomes, personless, and they become just you driving over them and taking pictures. It's gonna be an interesting time.
Right, but you know who doesn't want the roads to be good? The tire companies.
Yeah.
Hey, how many tire blows up from just potholes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Same with when I drive the oil trucks. I hit a pothole one time. This was about 6 years ago, and it blew out my tire.
Yeah.
It didn't blow it out, but I hit something, and it's just now my boss had to put a tire on it because I hit a pothole wrong. It was in the gutter. It was on the right hand. It was on the passenger side. Call that the gutter. But if the roads, like you go down Florida, the roads are meant because they don't have the elements we have. So I mean, they sing the song "Our roads are the best." Well, you don't have the winters we have too. But if you go up to New Hampshire and Maine, they got their roads, but they don't have as many of them.
Yeah.
There's always factors. You know what I mean? If people want to push Massachusetts under the bus as far as Massachusetts is terrible because they don't do it. Well, Massachusetts has more roads than New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Massachusetts has more roads than Maine. It's a bigger area. It's a bigger population.
Yeah, when it comes to roads, there's always this factor of,
you
roads are different in Massachusetts than they are in Wyoming.
You have to look at the whole factor. You just can't just go on a tantrum and say this about that and not do your homework.
Yeah, exactly.
And but as far as
roads are different in every state.
Yeah,
they really are.
No,
like I said, the example, Massachusetts has a lot of roads, and then you go to a state like Wyoming with a lot less people,
Right.
that changes the factors.
Well, they got less roads. They got less
Less roads, less population. There's not many cities at all in Wyoming, like
Right.
one or two.
Right.
Yeah.
So they, and same with Florida. They got the better weather, so they don't have the abuse. But I mean, I think it's a mixed mash of everything, of everyone just getting along, because there is. I'd rather drive on a nice road and pay a few bucks. I really would. I mean, some people say, "Oh, well, the road should be that way anyway." Well, they're not. Okay, all right, they're not. They're not. So there's got to be a reason why they're not, and everyone paying all this front end damage to the vehicles and going through front end parts, and who knows, bottoming your car out. I heard people's transmissions getting ripped out because they had like one of those grates, one of the sewer cover, a little lower. You know, you hear about horror stories, and it's like, yeah, drive at your risk. Sorry, what's the state gonna say? What are you gonna do? And a lot of people bring it on themselves by driving too fast over the conditions too.
Yeah, so
the whole factor.
So this topic is a really interesting topic for sure.
Boy, yeah, I mean, you get someone on there who would totally disagree with me. Said, no, you're wrong, blah blah blah. But I don't know. I'd rather drive on a nice road.
We gotta cap this conversation here. We're a little bit behind with the break, so we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back,
breaks, huh? We need breaks for the
we're behind a little bit. It's 7:50, so we're a little bit behind.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll do a quick little sports segment. One topic: the Olympics. Our medal count update. So we are gonna talk a little bit about that. So when we return, we'll do that. We'll be right back here on Middleboro Review. Turn that up. There we go. All right. TJ Construction.
Yeah. What we got out of control?
Love the
now?
music. What?
We got out of control. Now, how long are we talking about that? 20 minutes?
20 minutes, but hey, good topic anyway. Good topic. We could do a whole show on that. That topic is roads and tolling is such a interesting topic because it's going to become more important as years go by.
As long as the money goes to the toll, I don't think people would rather drive on a safe road.
Yeah, because as tolls become personless, like I said,
Right.
it's going to be interesting to see how some of these states.
And I'm sure people don't want to get taxed for driving by mileage. I'm not for that. You know what I mean? At all.
Yeah.
Mileage tax, no way. The people who get taxed are the people who are the workers.
There are areas in this country that want to do the mile tax, and even on certain roads too.
Yeah, but
so
they should just they should institute
another factor.
They should just institute a toll and get it that way. Instead of paying, you know, it's not fair if some guy a nurse has to drive to work 40 miles and they're gonna pay.
Yeah.
Right. People can't afford it. People can go around toll roads and not pay, you know, if they don't have the money.
Yeah.
They got that option.
Find the latest information at getvaccineanswers.org.
St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents of the towns of Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance. or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a nonprofit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
All right, and we are back here on Middleboro in Review. Today, again, is the 1st of August, 2021. So we're coming up on the end of the show here. A few more minutes left. Let's give a quick little Olympics medal count update. So China is in the lead. 23 gold medals, and this is what matters. Gold medals, 14 silver and 13 bronze for 50 medals total. The United States is second with 20 gold medals, 21 silver, and 16 bronze with 57 medals. They are not a total medal type of leaderboard. It is a gold medal type of leaderboard. So whoever has the most gold medals wins. So right now China is in the lead and Japan is third. 17 gold medals, 5 silver and 9 bronze for 31. Other countries that have medals in this Olympics, in 13th place, Canada, 3 gold medals, 4 silver and 6 bronze for 13 medals. The country of Croatia with 3 gold medals, 2 silver and 2 bronze for 7. Italy in 16th place for 2 gold medals, 8 silver and 15 bronze for 25 medals. They have a lot of medals, but they're in 16th place because they don't have a lot of gold medals. Some other countries as well that is in there. Georgia, the country of Georgia, 1 gold medal in this Olympics, 3 silver and 1 bronze for 5 medals. Hong Kong, gold medal in there with 2 silver for 3 medals. South Africa with a gold medal and 2 silver for 3 medals. The country of Jamaica, 1 gold, silver, and bronze for 3 medals. The country of Israel with a gold medal and 2 bronze for 3. Ireland is in here too. Ireland is 37th, 1 gold medal and 2 bronze for 3 medals as well. There is a total of 71 plus countries with medals who have won medals. Portugal is showing last in the leaderboard with 1 bronze medal. Just 1 medal. And there's also other countries like North Macedonia that has a silver medal and just has 1 medal. The country of Uganda has a silver and bronze for 2 medals. So a lot of countries have medals, 71 plus. So there's only 1 more week of Olympics left. So this is going to be an important week for different countries who are in the top of the leaderboard. All right, so we have the Today in History. Let's do the Today in History. We're coming up about 2.5 minutes left on the show. All right, 1620, August 1st, 1620. Speedwell leaves Delfshaven to bring pilgrims to America by way of England. In 1943, World War II, Operation Tidal Wave, also known as Black Sunday, a failed American attempt to destroy Romanian oil fields. 1957, the United States and Canada formed the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD, which is a very important service for America and really North America itself. Some very important things that they do, protecting us, aerospace defense.
What year was that?
1957, August 1st.
Yeah, your grandfather helped working or being on Goose Bay, Labrador.
They do a lot of great things.
Yeah, he was maintenance on the equipment and all the radars and generators, and that was his job to make sure everything was taken care of. And that's where the bombers would have came over from Russia. Would have came over Canada first, so that was right there.
Birthdays. Francis Scott Key has a birthday today. Born on this day in 1779. He is an American lawyer, author, and poet. He wrote the Star Spangled Banner, our national anthem. So
he was only 30-something years old when he wrote that.
Yeah.
He wrote that during the War of 1812, 1815 maybe, was it?
Yes. 1843. Robert Todd Lincoln, who was an American lawyer and politician. He was the 35th United States Secretary of War. Robert Todd Lincoln is the son of Abraham Lincoln. 1942, Jerry Garcia, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist of what band, Don?
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead. 1951, Tommy Bolin, American singer, songwriter, and guitarist of what band, Don?
The James Gang, and then on the Deep Purple.
And we have one death to report on today. 30 BC. Mark Antony, a Roman general and politician, a very important figure in Roman history. Mark Antony, one of many important figures in Roman history during that time. Rome was a big country, a lot of historical significance. All right, 8 o'clock. We are going to send it over to the news and Bread of Life. Hope everyone enjoyed today's program. We'll be back next week, August 8th, 2021. Have a great week, everybody.
Have a great week, everyone.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.
Bye, everybody.